And we've been joined by UConn coach T.J. Weist. The Huskies are 0-6 overall, 0-2 in the American Athletic Conference. Last week, UConn was in action at Cincinnati. Cincinnati won the game 41-16. This week, UConn is back on the road at UCF. That will be a noon Eastern time start and will be the American Athletic Conference Game of the Week on ESPN Regional Television. Coach, thanks for joining us on the call. If you would please take a minute to tie up the game at Cincinnati and then tell us what you look forward to back on the road at UCF this Saturday, please.
Well, it's a tough loss for our team. I think we've got more character than really an 0-6 team. And the game really came down to momentum. They made more plays than us, especially on offense. They had a lot more bigger plays. I thought we threw the ball well at times, but it came down to late in the second quarter, scored 14-3, and we were on offense, and we threw an interception. They took it down. They ended up scoring. We went 3 and out. They scored again, so all of a sudden it was 27-3 at halftime, and we kind of lost all kind of momentum right there and really couldn't recover. And our position the team is in right now, we can't do that. Struggled offensively, putting drives together and just making plays and coming up with some of the big plays. And their wide receivers and their quarterback, Brendan Kay, really did a good job with making more big plays than us and really capitalizing on our 3 interceptions, our turnovers. And that's what the game came down to for us.
Give us maybe a word or two about UCF this weekend.
Obviously, they're a team that is very solid all around. I look at their depth chart, look at what they've done, weakness within, either side of the ball, and even in special teams. They're very well coached. They're very athletic. Obviously, they had a great game beating Louisville. It was a team win for them where they just played solid football and really got after a tough, talented Louisville team. So, not only are they're athletic, not only are they have playmakers all across the board, they're playing with momentum, they're playing with confidence. So we're looking forward to putting our game plan and getting our guys motivated to going into that stadium and really playing a solid, one of the better teams in the country.
Take questions for Coach T.J. Weist. Please hit *1 on your telephone to join the queue, and the operator will introduce you.
We'll go to Paul Tenorio with the Orlando Sentinel.
Hey, TJ. Coming into this game, do you feel your team has an opportunity to maybe surprise a team or to take advantage of it if they want to come into a game complacent, to be able to pull off an upset? I mean, you're going up against a UCF team coming off an all-time high, and maybe you can catch them a little bit down here in Orlando?
That's always the normal byline, going in that, we're the underdog and we can do all those things. We're not going to build our game plan. We're not going to build everything around that because, George O'Leary is a good coach. He's been there many times and knows how to get his team motivated. So we're not sure it's part of it. You'd like for that to happen. You'd like for them to be a little bit emotionally spent on the last game. But we're just going to be solid in our game plan. We're going to try to build some momentum, try to force some turnovers, and try to win the game that way. I'm not going to depend on them playing bad or them being down and us catching them from that standpoint. Any coach would like that. And any coach thinks that sometimes it may happen naturally, but I'm not going to depend on it.
When you look at their offense, put up 38 points against Louisville. They can do it on the ground. Storm Johnson, obviously Blake Bortles under center. What do you think the key is for your team in order to slow that unit down?
Just solid, fundamental tackling, being in the right position, not being surprised by formations or not being out of alignment. That's what it comes down to. When you start peeking too much in the secondary, you start making mental assignments, that's when this team can hurt you. This team is solid with one of the best backs in the country, with a smart quarterback, that we just can't beat ourselves and put ourselves in bad positions to allow them to make average plays big plays. And that's what it comes down to. It's just playing solid, taking advantage of any turnovers that may come, stripping the ball out, catching interceptions that we should make. We've had some problems with that. We've had some opportunities on defense that we've missed, and we've had some good turnovers. But it's just solid football. Because if we don't play solid defense, being in the right place, taking advantage of any opportunities that we get, making tackles when we have to make tackles, then a type of team like this will take advantage of any mistake that we make.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions for Coach T.J. Weist, please? Star 1 on your telephone.
And we'll go to Joey Knight with Tampa Bay Times.
Coach, you had the unique opportunity to see your next two opponents on Thursday night. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind just talking about the skill sets of both those quarterbacks. They're both obviously very talented. What impressed you the most about both of those guys?
Well, it's more about their mentality, both of them. I mean, because they're both sound in what they do, and they both take advantage of, I'm not going to say coverage misalignments, but they both really, to me, can read defenses and progress through their receivers and get it to the right guy. And that's when you got two quarterbacks that can get the football off like they both can. It's more about decision-making and fast decision-making, and that's what's impressive about both of them. I watched the game, a lot of it the other night, and you have to have that type of quarterback to win games. You have to have a guy that can get rid of the ball on time, find receivers, and make those decisions. Because if he can't, your offense is going to be slow. You're not going to get the ball to your playmakers. And that's the thing. They could depend on Storm Johnson if they wanted to every snap. But the mix of him, of Blake Bortles really making plays with the receivers they have, strong offensive line, they take advantage of all their weapons. And Teddy does the same thing. I mean, he not only is he athletic, he gets the football to his different weapons and spreads the ball around. And when he needs to pull it down, he can pull it down and run. So he's a weapon all the way across the field. So I think it's more about the reason these two quarterbacks are impressive is that they make decisions, and they make the right decisions, whether it's throwing the ball short, throwing it deep, spreading the ball around, and they both use multiple sets with different quarterback movements, whether it's sprinting out, whether it's naked. I see a lot of different options for them, so they do a good job, both teams, calling plays.
Thank you.
Okay.
And do we have anything else for Coach Weist, please? Coach, well, thank you for your time this week. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Thank you.
All right, and that is UConn at UCF, the noon Eastern time start. Will be the American Game of the Week on ESPN Regional Television.